Okay, got the bed floor almost dropped. I'm still cutting though. Just this corner. There's this piece here, the headboard. I gotta slice it like right here and down, and then the rest of it should drop. And then I gotta find a way to support it, jack it, weld it, and then mount it. I haven't decided how I'm gonna do that yet, but we're working on it. Another long day here in the garage. I'll show you this before I forget. I threaded. Tried fixing some of the threads. I got nuts on all of them. They'll work, so that's awesome. I don't have to screw with that. I did get the oil filter on. I'm not sure if I showed this, but I have EGR and EVAP delete plugs in there. They were so gross I had to wire wheel them quick and shoot them with a high temp spray paint. Let's see, what else did I do up here? I WD-40'd the shit out of this. Get the latch to work. Now the hood hinges work. I think the hood will just go open and close and it'll work fucking pretty good. Here's the big thing. So you can see everything. You can see where the bed floor was and where it is now. So we're there. Just got this gap to fill. The gap's not my fault or anything like that. It's just the bed is so hit. It's dinged up, so it left a gap there. Most of it was tight, but there are a few places that are pretty wide to run a pass through, and the metal's really rusty, so I'm gonna try and grind that more and then get a complete pass in. The back headboard is a little bit rougher than I had originally thought. There's a gap there, so I think I might run a piece of angle iron that whole length for now. But I'm also thinking of getting, when I get the sheet metal, to make a piece that goes from, like, say here, fits inside this groove, to there, and then I'll make one here to there, here to there. Not quite sure yet. Probably just going to weld the angle iron in there and let it rock for a while, mount the bed. The bed is sitting tilted right now. This inner fender is butted up against the back of the tire on this side, and that inner fender is sitting on top of the tire. So after I weld this, I will be jacking it up and chopping out the inner fender wells completely so I can get it squared up. But it will be sitting a little bit higher than this, but that is a pretty sweet look if you ask me. So I can always get the suspension to get it that much lower, but we're making some progress. We didn't finish the steering column or anything yet. I have a couple hours of welding in this, and took up most of my day, and I'm pretty beat. Quick update, I haven't been here very long today. Got this seam welded up, and I started using a piece here as a filler, and I ran out of wire on the welder. So I gotta go run the Tractor Supply and get another spool of that. I did get this arch cut out. You can see both sides. Where are we at? So now we got some tire clearance, and I was able to, I think it's pretty squared up. I got some wood blocks of spacers back there. I think it's pretty square. I gotta go back for some final measurements before I start making up mounts even. But we're pretty level. I know it's not the easiest way to tell the best way to do this, but we're level there. And we're level here. And I checked the headboard and we're level there. I'm just gonna measure from that to there, I guess, and then edge to the seam. I think that's the best way to do it, and have jacks leveling it up. What I think I'm going to do for bed mounts are, I think I'm going to weld some of that square tube, that 1x1 I have, straight up, and then have flat stock on top of that, so the bed actually sits on that, it supports the weight, and then just drill and put grade 8 bolts through that flat plate and through the bed floor. I think that'll be the best and easiest way to do it. I'm running out of square tube. That's what I have left. I do have some black pipe. I don't really want to use that, but I'm thinking I can use this C-channel and drill through that. Like the bed will sit on that C-channel, so the C will sit downwards like that, and the bed will sit on top of that, and then run a bolt through that. So I think that would be the easiest way to mount the bed. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm not quite sure yet. When I came up for a mount, how this is going to work, this is going to go to the inside of the outside of the frame, and then this is going to hang over the frame and be able to bolt like through here. It's fucking hot. Through my glove. Welds are pretty decent on that one, but it's gonna sit from like here, hang over that way, but it's gonna be back round here, right before this cross member. I'm gonna weld that square tube like lengthwise on both sides, and that'll be the rear hangers for the bed floor. Pretty simple. All right. Didn't even have to drill those holes on each end of the C-channel I had. There was already holes there, so I'm just gonna use those. It'll be really nice. Okay, these are gonna be the mounts for the front of the cab. Same thing, just heavy C-channel, and I don't have square tube, so I'm gonna use what I have, 2-inch black pipe, and there's just leftover material from a derby car, so that's what I'm gonna use. You see, some of our welds are pretty decent, but it's the paint on this fucking pipe, and then just gonna try and run a bead down the side here to the frame, one on each end. I'm just gonna go over here and roughly measure distances and make sure it's level at the headboard, and then it's good to go.